Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So take the messages that do and check out your other placements because you may have some messages waiting for you there. All right, Sagittarius, let's see here. What is the energy around Sagittarius for this week? Got one card coming out. Oh, by the book, interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Look at that. Okay. So you've got Treasure Island, by the book, Chop Wood, and Not For You. Very interesting. It's interesting because these three really did show up in the reverse. So you know, seeing these in reverse is intriguing. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck is Time to Go in reverse. So, you know, Sagittarius, that kind of makes me feel like you're being guided to prepare for something unconventional that you're resisting right now because you don't understand it yet. It hasn't completely sort of revealed itself to you in terms of what action you need to take or what the path ahead looks like. Oops, everything's falling behind me. Sorry, that was my tripod. Okay, but it almost feels like it's going to bring in a lot of happiness if you can somehow get yourself to a point of surrender, you know, and acceptance that your path is not going to look like everyone else's path. And that you might be sort of focused on, well, why not? Why can't my path look like everyone else's path? That's not, you know, but it's just not for you. There's something else here for you, and I think you're preparing for that. But part of this journey is going to be sort of being okay with the idea that your path might look very different than someone else's path, and to sort of be confident about that. You know what I mean? Instead of feeling that feeling of not enough, which is sort of what this card carries when it's in reverse, is that we're looking at things and thinking, well, that's not fair. That's not enough. How come? Why? And it's almost like this victim place, right? And you have a very unconventional road ahead, my dear Sagittarius. I can see that here in this card. So even though you might sort of be feeling like things are passing you by and, you know, I'm never going to get what I want, and living in this lack mentality where it's sort of, you know, this idea that you're not enough, or that it's almost like it's a lack mindset, but more than just about resources. It's about everything right now for you. And you're sort of resisting this idea that there is something limiting your authentic progress. It's like, I feel like right now is a time where you have to be okay that things are different for you. Your path, Sagittarius, I keep saying this, but it's not going to look like anyone else's path. And I think that might be a bit of a bummer for you right now, because you're looking for something that feels comfortable and that feels like everybody else, you know, but you've got a different road ahead of you, Sagittarius, and it might be bumming you out a little bit that your path is not like everyone else's. So as a result, you sort of find yourself having to sort of go on your own. And I feel like your desires and your dreams and, you know, all of that, it's overwhelming you right now. You almost need to, with this card, sort of take things one step at a time, and then trust that if something is not for you, that's okay. I feel like you're having one of those weeks, and it's interesting seeing Time to Go on the bottom of the deck. is making me feel like you just need to focus on your dreams. Don't worry if you're different than everyone else. Don't let that be an obstacle or a limit for you. Your situation is not going to be like everyone else's, and that is okay. Your doubts are slowing you down. Your limits and your comparison is actually creating obstacles for you. Even if you feel like you can't possibly go any further because you don't know where to go next, that's okay. Just focus on what it is that you desire to embody, and then work one step at a time on embodying that. And I feel like right now is an important opportunity for you to sort of examine if you're holding on to that sort of poverty mindset or that lack mentality, or are you overly comparing yourself to others and saying, how come my path doesn't look like that? That might not be for you. You need to be more optimistic. See, the first card for you is the Sun. You will find that your path will be illuminated if you can sort of release any sort of comparison and just be yourself. There's the Knight of Cups, making an offer of authentic emotion and authentic expression of emotion. That's where you need to be. What feels authentic to you? And again, even if it doesn't match with anyone else around you, you know what I mean? You're a unique expression of source. And right now, I think you're resisting that. You're wanting to fit in. You want to be a circle so that you can put your circle peg in that circle hole and be like everyone else and feel normal. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you're a starseed, Sagittarius. I wouldn't be surprised if you're a light worker. I wouldn't be surprised if you have always felt a little bit different than everyone around you and have always wanted to fit in. But fitting in is about the most dangerous thing you could do right now, because that's not your path, you know, and that's okay. It might be a little lonely right now. You might be feeling a little bit lonely right now. Like, where are my people? I think you're going to find your people once you start sort of living more authentic to who you really are and not worrying about comparisons or conventions or tradition or anything like that. Just being yourself. And we see the Queen of Wands when I say that. So sort of embodying that very confident, charismatic energy of this queen to say, you know, I go my way. Even if my way is different than every other way everyone else walks, this is my way of walking through life. And it's okay, you know. You might be feeling like you don't have any options, and you might even be feeling a little bit bitter that you're not like everyone else. But you have to turn that around and see that not being like everyone else means that you're here to lead something. And that you've been hurt. I know, I can see it. I feel like you're in pain. Like you're in pain right now. You feel very out of balance. You feel like no one sees you. You feel like nobody is giving to you. And there's this immensity of emotional and mental pain. But I think the suffering will continue as long as you're attached to this certain way of life that doesn't work for you. And that's okay. But you have to see it as okay. And you have to be willing to sort of surrender to the idea that you are leading your own path right now. There is no template for you, Sagittarius. And that's why I say you could be a starseed, you could be a light worker. There's no template for you. You're not by the book. You've got your own operation manual, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But it might feel a little lonely right now. It might feel like you're just hanging out down in the snow with 10 swords in your back, you know? But let's clarify some of this. I feel like you're needing to shift your mindset so that your experience is not so focused on why me, why not me, you know, this idea that you're not getting, it's a lie. This Seven of Swords, there is some deception around you, and I think it's your own story that is the deceiver here, is that you're telling yourself you have to be like everyone else, when really all you have to do is sort of be okay and love yourself and focus and be determined from within, without needing that external validation, without needing that reinforcement, trusting your intuition. Again, Eight of Wands now in reverse. So it's interesting. It's like things are revealing themselves to you, but you're dismissing them because it's not by the book. It doesn't feel like you don't understand why it has to be so different. And I feel like your inner child is learning something very, very important these last few weeks and the weeks ahead. Six of Cups here and 111 on the clock, 1111 on the clock as I say that. I feel like you're moving into some shadow work here where your inner child needs nourishment. Your inner child needs to feel loved and secure and safe, and that sense of belonging is so important for you this week. But you have to, it's almost like you have to tap into the divine feminine to give it to yourself. This isn't going to be something that you're able to sort of get anywhere else. I think this is a gift you're going to give yourself this week, of really just loving yourself as is. Different, the same, whatever. I feel like whoever I'm reading for right now is different. They're unconventional. They're very unique, and they're on a path that's also very unique. And it's taking them in directions that they don't understand yet, and that doesn't feel like everyone else's experience. But that's okay. And that finding that okayness within you is going to be what helps you sort of surrender to this energy, to find your footing, to find the path that is meant for you, because right now it's very unstable. And your energy is lacking direction and focus, because you're trying to become this round peg to fit in a round hole, and you're not a round peg, and you don't need to squeeze yourself through a hole that doesn't fit you just because, well, everyone else goes through that hole. I want to be like everyone else. I feel like that's what your inner child feels like. I just want to fit in. I just want to be like everyone else. And sort of accepting that your journey is a different one is challenging you, but it's not going to defeat you. It's challenging you. All right, to close your reading, look at that. Surrender now. Totally exactly the message. And it's moth spirit, which is beautiful because it's so transformative, and it's not by the book, right? Like, it's very much needing to surrender to things as they are and trusting that all will be well. And I really feel like there's this acceptance that needs to happen so that you can surrender. And it's not resignation. It's not giving up. It's surrender. And it's very empowering to surrender to what is. It's the opposite of a resignation or giving up energy. It's sort of leaning in to who you really are, and surrendering and accepting and loving what you find there. Wow, I'm going to leave it at that, Sagittarius. What a very interesting reading. If it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like a personal reading, I am open for those in August and September, taking appointments. The link is in the description below. And as always, my friends, I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care. We'll see you again soon.